It's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Cleveland Stadium as Cleveland Indians will take on the Minnesota Twins. Last night the Indians beat the Twins 4-2, led by Ray Fosse's 3 hits. Harmon Killebrew of the Minnesota Twins is sitting at 499 career home runs, looking for number 500. He and Ernie Banks are both sitting at 499, and Ernie Banks has basically been relegated to pinch hitting duties this year, and I don't think he's hit a home run since May. So he's got 4 weeks. Killebrew, on the other hand, is third in the American League this year with 33 home runs. Starting lineups for today's game between Minnesota and Cleveland. Steve Lubber starts for Minnesota. He's made 9 starts. He is 5-4 on the year with an ERA of 3.18. His second start against Cleveland, he's 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA against Cleveland. Sam McDowell's on the mound for the Indians. He's made 29 starts. He's 12-13 with an ERA of 4.55. This is his fourth start against Minnesota. He's 1-1 with a 4.38 ERA against Minnesota. It is 74 degrees. Wind speed is 9 miles per hour out to right field. So the wind will be blowing in the direction of downtown. Starting lineup for the Twins, leading off the left fielder, Cesar Tovar. Batting second to shortstop, Steve Braun. Batting third to catcher, George Mitterwald. Batting fourth to third baseman, Harmon Killebrew. He needs one home run for 500 career home runs. Indians have a good crowd today, one of their better Saturday crowds of the season. And there probably are some people out there looking to see if Killebrew will hit number 500. Batting fifth to right fielder, Tony Oliva. Batting sixth to second baseman, Rod Carew. Batting seventh to center fielder, Jim Holt. Batting eighth to first baseman, Rich Reese. And batting ninth to pitcher, Steve Luber. Hope I'm saying that name correctly. On defense, the Indians have Chris Chambliss at first, John Lowenstein at second, Fred Stanley at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Ted Uhlaender in left, Vada Pinson in center, Frank Baker in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Sam McDowell, the hard-throwing left-hander. Sam McDowell was the Cy Young Award winner last year, and he also won the Cy Young Award in 1965. His last start was on Tuesday against Milwaukee, and the Indians lost that game 6-0. And that put him back on the losing track, dropping his record to 12-13. Minnesota, the 1970 World Series champions, are just having an awful season. They're 57-71, while Cleveland has the last worst record in the American League at 52-79. This is Saturday, August 28th. The Indians have already been eliminated from pennant contention. They're the only team in the American League so far that has been eliminated. In the National League, the Padres, Phillies, and Expos have all been eliminated. Leading off for Minnesota, is Cesar Tovar. Alright, I was playing around with this OBS to try to figure out how to do a live broadcast of a game. Okay, and I didn't notice until the second inning of my Game of the Week broadcast that I was broadcasting to an empty screen, but it looks like it should be alright for this game. Cesar Tovar leads off. He's hitting .305 with no home runs and 44 runs batted in. Here's the first pitch from Sudden Sam. Swing and a miss, strike one. Changeup, he's way out in front of that one. Strike two. It's fly ball into left center. Pinson to his right near the wall. He has it, one out. Here's Steve Braun, the shortstop. He's hitting .263 with 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. He's hitting .297 in August. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Baker going back, and he's got it. 2 outs. And the catcher, George Mitterwald. He's hitting .259, 10 home runs, and 41 runs batted in. Let me take a look here at Mitterwald. Yeah, last week when the Indians were in Minnesota, Mitterwald went 6 for 12 with 2 home runs. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fossey dropped the ball and had to throw him out at first. So there's nothing across for Minnesota in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Minnesota nothing. Cleveland coming to bat. Cleveland's starting lineup will be leading off the center fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the left fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Fred Stanley. Batting seventh, the second baseman, John Lowenstein. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Frank Baker. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Sam McDowell. And on defense for Minnesota, Rich Reese is at first base, Rod Carew at second, Steve Braun at shortstop, Harmon Killebrew at third, Cesar Tovar in left field, Jim Holt in center field, Tony Oliva in right, George Mitterwald catching, and on the mound, Steve Luber. Vada Pinson leads off for Cleveland. He's hitting .263 with 10 home runs and 40 runs batted in. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. And Pinson walks. There is Chris Chambliss hitting .290, 10 home runs, 37 runs batted in. He's a favorite for Rookie of the Year this season in the American League. Last season he was the Rookie of the Year in the American Association. Pinson goes. He slides. He's out. Mitterwald throws him out. That pitch was a ball. Ball 1.
Dead ball.
Ooh, Chambliss couldn't get out of the way. Here is Ted Uhlaender. Uhlander's hitting .289, 2 home runs, and 39 runs batted in. Uhlander's talking about retiring from baseball. Says he does not like playing in Cleveland, and he thinks that this area sports writers just poison the team in the minds of the fans. And It sounds like Veda Pinson, he wants a trade. He wants out of Cleveland. He has not enjoyed playing here, even though he's played good in Cleveland. Ball one. Caught the inside corner, strike one. Grounder down the first base line, that's foul. Uhlaender hits a base hit in the left field. Chambliss rounds second, and he'll hold. We have runners at first and second. One out. Here is Greg Nettles. Nettles is hitting .282, 34 home runs, 104 runs batted in. Nettles has 5 home runs in August. He had 6 in April and May. And in July, he had 11 in June. Sitting .301 in August with 5 home runs. He is second in the American League in home runs, and he leads the majors in RBIs. He has 104. Henry Aaron leads the National League with 100 RBIs. Aaron also has 36 home runs to lead the majors. Ray Fosse's on deck. Strike one called on a curveball. Let me see this Steve Luber. I don't remember him. He was called up on June 27th. And he's having a decent rookie year. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2. Curveball, ball 3. Nettles works the count full. Nettles hits base hit in the right field. Oliva up with it. Chambliss will score. Uhlaender rounds second. He'll take third. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Runners at the corner. 1 out. Here's Ray Fosse. He's hitting .290. 7 home runs, 53 runs batted in. He had 3 hits last night against the Twins. He's hitting .235 in August. Fouls it back. Strike one. Ball one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Fosse hits base hit in the left center. It gets all the way to the wall. In the gap. Uhlaender scores. Nettles rounds third. He'll score. Fosse's in with a double. It's 3-0 Cleveland. Cleveland's been playing kind of hot and cold recently. Here is Fred Stanley. He's hitting .286, 4 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Stanley's having an excellent rookie year with the Indians. Fouls it back. Strike one. Stanley gets a base hit in the left field. Tovar bobbles it. Fosse had stopped at third, but he'll score. Stanley takes second on the error. It's 4-0 Cleveland. Here's another rookie, John Lowenstein. He's hitting .113, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Lowenstein was called up after Jack Heidemann underwent knee surgery and ended his season. He tipped that one. Strike two. Outside, ball one. Sorry about my voice. I'm a little under the weather right now. sick recently, and I've been thinking about just foregoing the game of the week and just sticking with Indians broadcast and holding off on what would be nationally televised games until the postseason. Ball two. Fouls it back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ball three, full count. Foul tip. Count remains full. Fouls that one back. Foul tip on the curveball. Ball four. It was up around Lowenstein's chin. Frank Baker, another rookie. He was called up on June 11th. He's hitting .213, 2 home runs, 26 runs batted in. He's hitting .217 against Minnesota. Swing and a miss, strike one. That buzzed his chin, ball one. Grounder down the third base line, that's foul. Grounder to second, Crew to second for 1, to first, double play, 4-6-3 double play. But the Indians get 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. They left 1 man on base. We played 1. It is Cleveland 4, Minnesota nothing. Luber was charged with 3 earned runs in the first inning. For the second inning, it'll be Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, and Rod Carew. Harmon Killebrew hitting .248, 33 home runs, 96 runs batted in. We asked him if he remembered his first home run, and he said, oh yes, it was back in 1955 at Griffith Stadium when he played with the old Washington Senators. And he hit it off of Frank Sullivan of the Boston Red Sox. That was back in his bonus baby days. He got into 18 games in 1954, but he didn't get a home run. He hit his first home run in May of 1955. Harmon Killebrew is 35 years old. And he is one of the best of the bonus babies. Him, Al Kaline, and Sandy Koufax, I think. We're the best. And another bonus baby is still playing. Dick Schofield, who is now with the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe him and Killebrew are the only bonus babies from the 50s that are still playing now that Mike McCormick was released. The 2-0 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Pinson's coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Here is Tony Oliva. He's hitting .331, 19 home runs, 66 runs batted in. He's hitting .394 in August. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Here is Rod Carew. He's hitting .332, no home runs, 42 runs batted in. Last season, Carew was injured for most of the season, but he came back in time to be eligible for the postseason roster. and he was the MVP of the 1970 World Series. He was also the Rookie of the Year in 1967. He's a career .308 hitter. The 3-2 pitch, ball four. That's a first walk given up by McDowell. Here's Jim Holt, the center fielder. He's hitting .260, no home runs, 30 runs batted in. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. That's low, ball one. Down and inside, ball two. Holt hits base hit in the right field. Crew around second, he'll take third. So we have runners at the corners, 2 outs. And here's Rich Reese, the first baseman. He's hitting .244, 9 home runs and 39 runs batted in. Low, ball one. Reese hits a fly ball in the right field. Baker going back, he's at the wall, and that's gone. Home run number 10 for Reese. And that'll make it 4-3 Cleveland. Here's the pitcher, Steve Luber. He's hitting .071, no home runs, no runs batted in. He is 1 for 14. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 for McDowell, but the Twins get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Cleveland 4, Minnesota 3. Later tonight, the Cleveland Browns play an exhibition game against the Chicago Bears in South Bend, Indiana at Notre Dame Stadium. I already have the 1971 NFL season all set up and ready to go. That season starts in about 3 weeks. And I've got the ABA, the NBA, and the NHL all ready to go. They all start approximately October 15th. Here's the 3-1 pitch, Sam McDowell. It's grounder to short. Steve Braun is up with it. Throw to first, 1 out. Here is Vada Pinson. He walked in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch, base hit into right field. Pinson was out stealing. At first, here's Chris Chambliss. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. And he scored the first run of the game. Pitch out. Nothing happening. 1 ball, no strikes. It's a liner down the third base line. That's fair. That's in the corner. Tovar's after it. Pinson around second. He'll take third. Chambliss slides. He is safe with a double. So we have 1 out. Runners on second and third. Here is Ted Uhlaender, who is 1 for 1. He singled in the first. Uhlaender says he's unhappy in Cleveland, but he's played good since he came over here from Minnesota. He came over with Greg Nettles in a trade that sent Louis Tiant to Minnesota. Louis Tiant and Stan Williams, I think, went over to Minnesota in that trade as well. Yeah, Stan Williams went. The Twins are pitching just He hasn't done it this year. I mean, they got Bert Blyleven, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, and he's 19-8 right now. We have Jim Cott, who's 8-12. Jim Perry, who was 11-12. Tom Hall, who's in the minors right now, he was 11-1 and threw a no-hitter last year. He's 0-4. And Bill Rigney is on the hot seat as far as his future as the Twins manager for 1972. Lander singled in the first. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. Base hit up the middle. Pinson scores. Chambliss rounds third. He'll score. It's 6-3 Cleveland. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. That scored Chris Chambliss. Swing and a miss, strike one. Inside, ball one. The inside corner, strike two. Low and inside, ball two. Popped it up. First base side. Reese is after it. But that makes seats. Nettles hits fly ball in the right field. Oliva going back. He's at the wall. That's gone. Home run number 35 for Greg Nettles. That's his fourth against Minnesota. And it's 8-3 Cleveland. Here comes Rigney, and that'll be all for Steve Luber. Coming in to pitch is Ray Corbin. Corbin's making his 38th appearance of the year. He has a record of 5-7 with an ERA of 5.86. He has walked 66 and struck out 90. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 1 for 1. He hits a fly ball in center field. Holt going back. That's gone. Home run number 8 for Ray Fosse. The other night in against Milwaukee, Alan Foster, he gave up 4 home runs in the first inning. And the Indians have 2 this inning, so let's see what happens. Cleveland Stadium has been an easy mark for home runs in the last couple seasons. Billy Martin, now managing the Tigers, has called it a Little League field. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. And then on an outfield error, Fosse scored. Ball 4. Ray Corbin, he has a 3-game winning streak. And he's a rookie this year. So some of the young guys are getting some long looks this year. Here's John Lowenstein. He walked in the first inning. 1 out, runner on first. Indians lead 9-3. Inside, ball 1. Hits a liner into left field. That's a base hit. Stanley around second. He's going for third. Lowenstein going for second. Throw to third from Tovar. Stanley's safe. Lowenstein goes to second on the throw. So we have runners on second and third. 1 out. And here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the first. Hits grounder to short. It was slow enough. Stanley will score. Lowenstein takes third. Braun throws out. Oh, it was a low throw. Reese couldn't dig it out. So that's error number 14 for Braun. So we have runners on first and third, 1 out. Indians lead 10-3. Here's Sam McDowell. He's 0 for 1. He's hitting .262. He lays down a bunt. Corbin picks it up. Looks the runner back to third. He throws a Carew. Covering. 2 outs. Baker takes second on the sacrifice. Here's Vada Pinson. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the first, singled in the second. So the Indians batted around with McDowell making his second appearance at the plate. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low and inside, ball 2. Hits a slow roller to second. Carew up with it. Throw to first. Not in time. Pinson legs it out. Lowenstein scores. Baker takes third. It is 11-3 Cleveland. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first. Doubled in the second. Low, ball 1. Pop up third base side. Killebrew's after it. But that will make the seats. Chambliss hits a grounder to second. Carew up with it. He throws him out. But that's a big inning for Cleveland. They get 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 2 men on base. We played 2 in Cleveland. It is the Indians 11, the Twins 3. One of those 7 runs, or one of those 7 runs was unearned. In the third inning for Minnesota, it will be Tovar, Braun, and Mitterwald. Tovar is 0 for 1. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit in the right field, gets past Baker. It's in the gap, all the way to the wall. Tovar around second. He slides. He is safe with a triple. Here is Steve Braun, who's 0 for 1. Hits grounder to short. Stanley's up with it. Throws to first. 1 out. Tovar scores. It's 11-4. Here's George Mitterwald. He's 0 for 1. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball. He hits a base hit in the left field. And here's Harmon Killebrew. The fans are sitting close in their seats. He is 0 for 1. He flied out to shallow center field last time up. Too high, ball 1. Down at tight, ball 2. Strike 1 called. Below the knees and inside, ball 3. Ball 4. Crowd groans a little bit. The Indians with a 7-run lead right now. there's a lot of people here that want to see Killebrew hit his 500th home run. Here's Tony Oliva. He's 0 for 1 today. Swing and a miss, strike one. He swung at a bad pitch there, strike two. Strike three called. That's strikeout number 4 for Sam McDowell. Here is Rod Carew. He walked in the second inning. He's hitting .245 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He swung and missed on a curveball, strike one. Checked his swing, but that's a called strike, strike two. Just a bit inside, ball one. Ball two. Carew hits a base hit in the left field. Eulander's up with it. Carew rounds first. He'll slide into second with a double. Mitterwald scored. Killebrew scored. It's 11-6. Here's Jim Holt. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. Swing and a miss, strike one. Up and outside, ball one. Another swing and a miss, strike two. Base hit in the left field. Carew rounds third, he'll score. And it's 11-7. Here is Rich Reese. He's 1 for 1. He hit a 3-run homer in the second inning. That's low, ball one. It's fly ball in right field. Baker's there, and he's got it. But the Twins get 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Cleveland 11, Minnesota 7. It'll be Ted Eulander, Greg Nettles, and Ray Fosse in the third. Ted Eulander's 2 for 2. He singled in the first. And he singled in the second. That scored Vada Pinson and Chris Chambliss. The 0-1 pitch. Another base hit, center field. That's 3 hits today for Ted Eulander in 3 innings. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 2 for 2. He singled in the first. That scored Chris Chambliss, and he hit a 2-run homer in the second. Fastball, ball one. Inside, ball two. Swing and a miss, strike one. Base hit in the right field. Eulander, he'll hold at second. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Here's Ray Fosse, who's 2 for 2. He has 3 RBIs today. He doubled in the first. That scored Eulander and Nettles, and he hit a solo home run in the second. Just below the knees, ball one. Ball two. He chased one out of the strike zone there, strike one. That was low, ball three. It's a grounder to first. Reese to throw to Braun at second. No throw to first. Eulander took third. They got Nettles at second. So we have Fosse at first, Eulander at third. 1 out, and here's Fred Stanley. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. And then Fosse scored on an error, and he walked in the second. Yeah, Stanley walked in the second. He came around and scored. Strike two called. Bit inside. Ball 1. Ball 2. Base hit in the left field. Tovar's up with it. Uhlaender scores. Fosse stops at second. It's 12-7. Somebody just glancing at the score might think this is the Browns and the Vikings. Here's John Lowenstein. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the first, and he singled in the second. He eventually came around and scored in the second. That caught the inside corner. Strike 1. Just low. Ball 1. Way off the plate. Ball 2. Strike 2 call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Strike 3 call. He got caught looking and he knew it. That's strikeout number 1 for Ray Corbin. Here's Frank Baker. He is 0 for 2 today. That's a fastball. Ball 1. Foul tip. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouls it back. Strike 2. Strike 3 called. But the Indians got 1 run. 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We have played 3. It is Cleveland 12, Minnesota 7. Take a look around the league. Bottom of the 5th in New York. Mets lead the Dodgers 3-1. That is Claude Osteen against Tom Seaver. That is game 1 of a doubleheader. Top of the 4th in Detroit. Tigers lead the White Sox 8-0. That is Bart Johnson against Mickey Lolich. Chicago is 1 game ahead of Oakland in the American League West. And top of the 3rd at Wrigley Field, the Cubs lead the Braves 2-0. Billy Williams hit his 29th home run for the Cubs. That is Ron Reed against Bill Hands. For the Twins in the 4th, it will be Ray Corbin, Cesar Tovar, and Steve Braun. Corbin is hitting .226, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. And they're going to call him back. Danny Thompson will pinch hit. Danny Thompson's hitting .191, no home runs, 1 run batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .214 with 1 run batted in. Danny Thompson, he got into 52 games last year. And 48. This is his 101st Major League game. He's a 24-year-old kid. Another young player that the Twins have high hopes for. The 3-1 pitch, ball 4. Here is Cesar Tovar. He's 1 for 2 today. He flied out in the first and he tripled in the 3rd. Curveball, ball 1. Fly ball down the left field line. Uhlander's after it. And it makes the seats. Lays down a bunt. McDowell up with it. Throws to Lowenstein covering. 1 out. Danny Thompson takes second. Here's Steve Braun. He's 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That was high, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Strike 3. He swung and missed at that one. Strikeout number 5 for McDowell. That brings up George Mitterwald. He is 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, singled in the third. That was in there below the belt. Strike one. Ball one. Caught the inside corner. Strike two.
Strike three.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is Cleveland 12, Minnesota 7. Pete Ham, the new pitcher for Minnesota. He's making his 7th appearance of the year. He is 0-4 with an ERA of 9.11. He was called up on May 7th. He got into 20 games last season with a record of 2-1 and 2 saves. He's 24 years old. He has a 4-game losing streak right now. Cleveland has 12 runs, 14 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. Minnesota has 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. They've left 2 men on base. Cleveland scored 4 in the first. Big hit was Ray Fosse doubling with 2 men on base. That made it 3-0, and then he scored on Fred Stanley's single. Minnesota countered with 3 runs in the second. With 2 outs, Rich Reese hit a 3-run home run. Then Cleveland came back with 7 runs in the bottom of the second. Ted Uhlaender hit a single that scored 2 runs. That was with 2 outs. Ted Nettles hit a 2-run homer. Fosse hit a solo home run. And then later on, still with 2 outs, Fred Stanley scored on an error. And then Vada Pinson had an infield single. He legged out a hit to Rod Carew, and that scored John Lowenstein. Minnesota countered with 4 more runs in the third. Tovar led off the inning with a triple. He scored on a ground out. Then with 2 out and 2 on, Rod Carew doubled down the left field line. That scored 2, and then he scored on Jim Holt's single. Then in the bottom of the third, Cleveland countered with another run. Uhlaender slid off with a single. Then Nettles singled. Ray Fosse grounded to first. That moved Nettles to second, Uhlaender to third. And Uhlaender scored after Fred Stanley singled. Bottom of the fourth, Sam McDowell leads off for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the second, and he had a sacrifice bunt after the Indians batted around in the second. So he's had 2 at-bats, and they were both in the second inning. 2 plate appearances, they were both in the second inning. It's a grounder to second. Carew up with a throw to first, 1 out. It's Vada Pinson. He's 2 for 2. He walked in the first, singled in the second. Then he had an infield single later in the second. That scored John Lowenstein with the 7th run of the inning for Cleveland. 3-1 pitch, grounder to first. Reese up with it. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the first. Doubled in the second. And then his second at-bat in the second inning, he grounded to second. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit in the left field. Here's Ted Uhlaender. He's 3 for 3 today. He singled in the first. Then he singled in the second. That scored 2 runs, and then he singled in the third. He hits a base hit into right field. That's his 4th hit of the game. Chambliss round second. He'll take third. Here's Graig Nettles. He's 3 for 3 today. He singled in the first. Hit a 2-run homer in the second. And he singled in the third. So he has 3 hits and 3 runs batted in today. 4th inning. This is his 4th at bat. Base hit into right field. Chambliss scores. Uhlaender around second. He'll take third. The throw to third. Uhlaender slides. He's safe. It's 13-7. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 2 for 3 today. He has 3 runs batted in. He doubled in the second, scoring 2 runs. And he had a solo home run in the second. Got the outside corner, strike 1. Too low, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Base hit in the left center. Uhlaender scores. Nettles round second. He'll take third. It is 14-7. Here's Fred Stanley, who's 2 for 2. He singled in the first, walked in the second, singled in the third, scoring Ted Uhlaender. Check the swing, ball 1. Base hit in the left center. Tovar's up with it. Nettles scores. Fosse round second. He'll take third. It's 15-7, Cleveland. Here's John Lowenstein. He's 1 for 2. He walked in the first. Singled in the second. Struck out in the third. Ball 1. Base hit into left field. Fosse scores. Stanley takes third. That's 20 hits for Cleveland. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. Cleveland leads 16-7. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 3 today. It's ground ball to first. Reese is up with it. He'll take it himself. But the Indians get 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 4 innings in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 16, Minnesota 7. Harmon Killebrew leads off the 5th for Minnesota. He's 0 for 1. He flied out in the second. He walked in the third. The 1-0 pitch. It's fly ball in the left field. Uhlaender coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Tony Oliva. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out twice. The 1-2 pitch. Oh, he got hit in the shoulder. Here is Rodney Kleins-Carew. He is 1 for 1. He walked in the second, and he doubled in the third. That scored 2 runs. He's hitting .333 against lefties. Just below the belt, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Carew works it full. Full count, 1 out. Ball 4. 4th walk given up by McDowell. McDowell is definitely not at his best today, but the Indians' bats have really bailed him out. Jim Holt, he's 2 for 2 today. Too high, ball 1. Holt singled in the second, and he singled in the third. And that scored Rod Carew. That made it 11-7. Hits a liner into center field. Pinson's going, he dives. Can't come up with it. But he kept the ball in front of him. So Oliva stopped at third. It's Jim Holt's third hit of the game. 1 out. The bases are loaded. Here is Rich Reese, who's 1 for 2. He hit a 3-run homer in the second. According to my game screen, he has 1 grand slam on the season. Changeup, he fouls it back. Strike 1. Fastball, he looks at strike 2. High and outside, ball 1. Liner down the first base line, that's foul. Foul tip. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Too high, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Twins are down by 9. Grounder up the middle. Lowenstein to his right. To Stanley for 1. To Chambliss. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. Twins get no runs. 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's an official game here in Cleveland. The Indians lead the Twins 16-7. It'll be Sam McDowell, Vada Pinson, and Chris Chambliss for the Indians in the 5th. Sam McDowell is 0 for 2 today. Sitting .258. No home runs and 8 runs batted in. He has 16 hits on the season. They are all singles. It's a 2-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle. Here's Vada Pinson. He's 2 for 3. He walked in the first. Singled in the second. Then in his second at bat in the second inning, he hit an infield single that scored John Lowenstein. And he grounded out in the 4th. That's in at the knees. Strike 1. Fastball. Grounder to third. To second for 1. There'll be no throw to first. 1 out. Here is Chris Chambliss, who's 2 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the first. Doubled in the second. Then his second at bat in the second, he grounded out, and he singled in the 4th. Base hit into center field. Holt up with it. Pitching around second. He's going for third to throw. He is safe. We have runners at the corners. 1 out. Here's Ted Ulander, who's 4 for 4 today. Single in the first. Singled in the second. That scored Vada Pinson. Singled in the third. Singled in the 4th. So he has gotten 1 hit in each of the 4 innings that we've played so far today. Ball 1. Got the outside corner, strike 1. Liner down the right field line, that's foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball, ball 2. Roller down the first base line, that's foul. Grounder to second. This could be 2. Second for 1. Chambliss took out Braun. Pinson scored. It is 17-7. It's Greg Nettles. He's 4 for 4 today. He singled in the first, hit a 2-run homer in the second, singled in the third, singled in the fourth. He has driven in 4 runs today. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Too low, ball 1. High and away, ball 2. He looks at strike 2. Ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Ball 4. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 3 for 4 today. He doubled in the first. That scored 2. He hit a solo home run in the second. Grounded into a forced play in the third. And he singled in the fourth. That scored Ted Uhlaender. So he has 3 hits and 4 runs batted in today. He just needs a triple for the cycle. Strike 1 called. Ball 1. He has 1 triple this season. Mitterwald can't handle it, but Uhlaender holds up at second. Base hit in the right field. Uhlaender rounds third. He'll score. Carew could not make that play. That's Fosse's 4th hit of the game and his 5th run batted in. It's 18-7 Cleveland. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 3 for 3. He singled in the first, walked in the second, singled in the third. That scored Uhlaender. And he singled in the fourth. That scored Nettles. So he has 3 hits and 2 runs batted in. Sitting 406 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Too high, ball 1. It's fly ball down the left field line. That is a foul ball. Strike 3 call. That is strikeout number 1 for him. But the Indians get 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We have played 5. It is the Cleveland Indians 18. The Minnesota Twins 7. In the 6th inning for Minnesota, it will be the pitcher's spot. Cesar Tovar and Steve Braun. George Thomas pinch hitting for Ham. Thomas is hitting .286, no home runs, no runs batted in. He's a batting average of 0 as a pinch hitter. He is 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Let's see. Thomas been around for a long time. I think he came up right at the end of the bonus baby era, so he may have been the last of the bonus babies. I think he was a bonus baby. He was released by the Red Sox on June 28th, and the Twins signed him as a free agent the same day. In my APC universe, he did not appear in any games as a bonus baby. But he played for Detroit, the Los Angeles Angels, then he went back to Detroit, then he went to Boston. 2-1 pitch. Leiter right to third, right at Nettles. 1 out. Here is Cesar Tovar. He's 1 for 2. He tripled in the third. 2-1 pitch. Grounder to first. Chambliss has it. Tosses to McDowell covering. 2 outs. And here is Steve Braun. He's 0 for 3. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Baker's at the wall. And he's got it. 3 outs. Nothing across for Minnesota in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Cleveland 18, Minnesota 7. That was McDowell's easiest inning since the first. New pitcher for Minnesota is Jim Strickland, making his 26th appearance of the year. He is 1-1 with 2 saves. He has an ERA of 2.10. He's another rookie. He was called up on May 5th. John Lowenstein leads off for Cleveland. He's 2 for 3. A walk. A single. A strikeout. And a single in the 4th that scored Ray Fosse. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Jim Holt going back. He's got it. 1 out. Here is Frank Baker. He is 0 for 4. He is the only member of the Indians without a hit today. Sam McDowell has 1 hit, and Pinson and Lowenstein each have 2. Chris Chambliss and Fred Stanley each have 3. And Ted Uhlaender, Greg Nettles, and Ray Fosse each have 4 hits. The Indians are just beating the Minnesota Twins' brains in right now. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Here's Sam McDowell. He's 1 for 3. He grounded out in the 2nd. Then in his second plate appearance in the 2nd inning, he had a sacrifice bunt. He grounded out in the 4th, and he singled in the 5th. It's a sharp grounder to first. Reese will take it himself. 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. That's the first inning of the game that the Indians did not score a run. We played 6. Cleveland 18, Minnesota 7. George Mitterwald leads off for Minnesota. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder to 3rd. Nettles throws him out. 1 out. Here is Harmon Killebrew, who's 0 for 2. Flied out in 2nd. Walked in the 3rd. Flied out in the 5th. Suddenly all the attention of the crowd is on Killebrew. He's looking for home run number 500. Ball 4. That's his 2nd walk of the game. Here's Tony Oliva. He's 0 for 2. That was the 5th walk given up by McDowell. McDowell has not been sharp today. I think this may be his final inning coming out. Oliva's 0 for 2. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Oliva struck out twice and was hit by a pitch. Pops it up, first base side. Chambliss is after it. But that makes the seats. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's his 3rd time Oliva has struck out today. Here's Rod Carew. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the 2nd. He doubled in the third. That scored 2 runs, and he walked in the fifth. Too low, ball 1. Low and away, ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. In at the knees, strike 1. Grounder up the middle. Lowenstein to his right, has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Cleveland 18, Minnesota 7. Top of the 9th at Shea Stadium. Mets lead the Dodgers 6-2. Cleon Jones hit home run number 7. It's Pete Mickelson now for the Dodgers and Tom Seaver looking for win number 15 for the Mets. Top of the 8th in Detroit. Tigers lead the White Sox 9-2. That is Mickey Lolich against Joe Magnuson. Bill Freehan is 3 for 4. And top of the 6th at Wrigley Field. Cubs lead the Braves 6-3. Billy Williams hit his 31st home run. That's Ron Reed against Bill Hands. Vada Pinson leads off for the Indians in the 7th. He is 2 for 4. Walked in the first, singled in the second. Had an infield single at his second at bat in the second. Grounded out in the 4th and grounded into a force play in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch. Slow roller to third. Killebrew up with it. Throw to first. Bang, bang play. In time to get Pinson. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He is 3 for 4. He was hit by a pitch. He doubled in the second, grounded out in the second, singled in the 4th, singled in the 5th. The 2-0 pitch. Hard grounder to first. Reese underhands it to Strickland, covering 2 outs. And here's Ted Uhlaender, who's 4 for 5. Uhlaender singled in the first. Singled in the second. That scored 2 runs. He singled in the third. Singled in the 4th. Grounded into a force play in the 5th, and that scored a run. So he has 4 hits and 3 runs batted in today. The 0-1 pitch. Up the middle. Crew to his right. Backhands it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the 7th. We played 7. It is the Indians 18, the Twins 7. New pitcher for Cleveland will be Ed Farmer. Farmer's making his 33rd appearance of the year. He is 3-3 with 2 saves, 5.63 ERA. Jim Holt leads off for Minnesota. He's 3 for 3 today. He singled in the second, singled in the third. That scored a run, and he singled in the 5th. So he's had a very productive day today. He's hitting 270 in August. The 0-2 pitch, hard grounder to first. Chambliss has it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here's Rich Reese. He's 1 for 3. He had a 3-run homer in the second. The 1-2 pitch. Pops it up. Fossey tosses his mask away. He has it. 2 outs. Pinch hitting for Minnesota, Brant Elliott. Elliott's hitting 136, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting 111 with 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. He put himself in the World Series record books last year. Game 2. Jerry Koosman pitches a one-hitter for the Mets. The one hit he gave up was a solo home run to Brant Allier, and Minnesota won that game 1-0. If baseball's greatest games, that show from the late 80s, early 90s, that appeared on Sports Channel in Cleveland, exists in my APC universe, I think Game 2 of the 1970 World Series will definitely be featured on that program. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nothing across for Minnesota in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cleveland 18, Minnesota 7. New pitcher for Minnesota, Bob Gebhardt. Gebhardt has a record of 0-1 with an ERA of 8.49. This is his 11th appearance. He had walked 12, struck out 10. He's a hard-throwing rookie. He was called up on June 27th, or July 27th, I'm sorry. And Greg Nettles leads off. He's 4 for 4 today. Singled in the first. That scored Chambliss. Hit a 2-run homer in the second. Singled in the third. Singled in the fourth. Scored Chambliss again. And he walked in the fifth. So he has 4 hits. Been on base 5 times. And has 4 runs batted in today. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 4 for 5 today. He doubled in the first. Scored 2. Hit a solo home run in the second. Grounded into a force play in the third. Singled in the fourth. Scored a run. Singled in the fifth. Scored one. He had driven in Ted Uhlaender 3 times today. He's 4 for 5 with 5 runs batted in. He just needs a triple for the cycle. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. And here's Fred Stanley, who's 3 for 4. Singled in the first. Walked in the second. Singled in the third. Driving in a run. Single in the fourth, driving in a run, and struck out in the fifth. Full count. Ball 4. Stanley draws a walk. That's the Indians' first base runner since the 5th inning. Here's John Lowenstein. He's 2 for 4. Walked in the first, singled in the second, struck out in the third, singled in the fourth, driving in Ray Fosse, and flied out in the 6th. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Check the swing, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike. Caught the inside corner, strike 2. Slow roller down the first base line, that's foul. Ball 4. Here is Frank Baker, he's 0 for 5. He's the only Indian starter without a hit. Changeup, caught the inside corner, strike 1. Base hit into center field. Stanley comes around to score. Lowenstein comes around to score. Baker dives in the second with a double. That makes it 20-7. I gotta check. I believe this has got to be the most runs the Indians have scored this season. Let's see, they scored 10 against Kansas City. This is only the second game that they've scored in double digits. Scored 10 against Kansas City on July 16th, right after the All-Star game. Pitch hitting for Ed Farmer, Gomer Hodge. Hodge is hitting .079, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. He is 3 for 38. He has 1 double. He's hitting .045 with 1 RBI as a pinch hitter. Yeah, 1 for 22 as a pinch hitter. In the real 1971 season, he was legendary for his pinch hitting ability. In my APC season, it has been Luke Camilli. Who has had the amazing pinch hitting success this year. Low and away, ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4. Hodge was taking and Gebhardt missed the strike zone. Here's Vada Pinson, who's 2 for 5 today. Third inning of the second game of the doubleheader at Shea. Mets lead the Dodgers 2-0. Ball 1. Pinson fouls it back. Strike 1. Pinson hits a grounder to third, or short. Braun tosses to second for 1. 3 outs. But the Indians get 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the 9th inning. It is Cleveland 20, Minnesota 7. Gomer Hodge stays in the game. He will take over at first base. John Lowenstein moves to center. Jim Clark will take over in left field. For Ted Uhlaender. Kurt Bavacqua, a rookie, coming to play second base. And the new pitcher, another rookie, Mark Bollinger. Bollinger was called up on an emergency basis from Jacksonville, not even from Wichita AAA. He came up from Jacksonville in AA after Steve McGorry's jaw was broken in a freak accident during batting practice. And speaking of Wichita, Rich Hand, who started out the season with a sore arm for the Indians and was sent down to Wichita. He threw a no-hitter for the Wichita Arrows last week. Bellinger has a record of 2-0 with an ERA of 1.86. It will be Tovar, Braun, and Mitterwald in the 9th for Minnesota. Tovar is 1 for 3 today. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder at short. Stanley up with it. Throw to first. Not in time. Tovar with the base hit. Here is Steve Braun. He is 0 for 4 today. Inside, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. Another grounder up the middle. Stanley steps on second. No throw to first. One out. Here's George Mitterwald. He is 1 for 4. He singled into third. That's high, ball one. Harmon Killebrew's on deck. Ball two. Too low, ball three. 3 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss, strike one. That was in at the knee, strike two. Full count. Mitterwald hits a fly ball in the right field. Baker's there. He's got it. 2 outs. Minnesota's down to their last out. Here is Harmon Killebrew. He is 0 for 2 today with 2 walks. Can he do it? Can he hit his 500th home run? He's hitting .214 in August. Low and outside, ball one. Ball two. It's fly ball in the left field. Clark on the track is there, and he's got it. And that's the game. Indians win 20-7. 21 runs, 24 hits, no errors for Cleveland. 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Minnesota. Sam McDowell gets the win. He is 13-13. Steve Lubar gets the loss. He's 5-5. Star of the game, Ray Fosse. Fosse went 4 for 6 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Ted Uhlaender went 4 for 6. He drove in 3. Nettles went 4 for 5 with a home run. He drove in 4. Every one of the Indian starters got at least 1 hit. They just teed off on Minnesota today. Lubar gets the loss. He's 5-5. He went an inning and a third. Gave up 8 runs, 7 of those earned. Gave up 8 hits. 1 home run. He walked 2, no strikeouts. Ray Corbin went an inning and 2/3. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. He gave up 1 home run. Walked 1, struck out 2. Pete Ham went 2 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 1. He struck out 1. Jim Strickland went 2 innings. Struck out 1. He faced 6 batters. And Gebhardt went 1 inning. He gave up 1 hit, 2 runs. They were both earned. He walked 3, struck out 2. While the Indians, McDowell, he wasn't sharp, but he got the job done. He went 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned. He gave up 1 home run. He walked 5. He struck out 7. Ed Farmer in 1 inning, struck out 1. And Mark Bollinger in 1 inning. He gave up 1 hit. So the Indians' relief pitching, which has been shaky this year and inconsistent at best, looked pretty good today. Time of the game, 3 hours and 38 minutes. Harmon Killebrew was the guy everybody was looking at for the Twins, looking for his 500th home run. He walked twice. He scored a run. Didn't get any hits. Carew went 1 for 2. He had 2 RBIs. Tovar went 2 for 4 with a triple, and Jim Holt went 3 for 4. Like I said, McDowell, he wasn't sharp, but he got the outs when they counted. Minnesota scored three in the second, then four in the third, and then they didn't score after that. And they got a lot of runners on. They left 6 men on base. Cleveland left 11 men on base. It was mostly when Frank Baker was up. He was over 5 until he hit a double in the eighth. Time of this game was 3 hours and 38 minutes. We won't be on tomorrow. And after this, the Indians have a game with Minnesota tomorrow. And then they hit the road going to Detroit, then Boston, then Baltimore. Cleveland is 4 games behind the Red Sox for 5th place, so who knows? Possibly they might be able to gain some ground on them. The month of August is almost over, and let's see what day the regular season ends. I think it's September 28th. Now, the last day of the season is Thursday, September 30th. And then I believe the NLCS and ALCS start on October 1st or October 2nd. I think the NLCS starts in the Western Division City, and the ALCS will start in the Eastern City. The Commissioner's Office has given the Dodgers, Pirates, Orioles, White Sox, and Oakland permission to print postseason tickets. Once again, our final score from Cleveland is the Indians 20, Twins 7. Hope you enjoyed this slugfest, and thank you for watching.